Welcome to Retire Right Television. I'm Rebecca Powers, your host. Always a pleasure to be here with Paul Roberts, CEO and founder of Roberts Wealth Management in Biloxi, now Mobile, and almost Hattiesburg. You said something over a year ago when the forced vaccinations were happening. I'm not talking politics, good, bad, or ugly. This is just a fact. And just very recently, just in a matter of weeks, insurance companies made a big announcement. What was that, Paul, that you saw coming?
There's a few announcements that all kind of intertwine into one, right? The biggest announcement that I think should be alarming across the nation, and people should get it. It's not being covered in any media outlets. It's being censored and pushed away, but it's very understandable in the insurance industry. And first of all, to give our viewing audience understanding, I've worked in this industry a long time. I've got very, very close ties with insurance companies and very, very high ups in some of the main insurance companies. I have a lot of friends in the world of insurance who are very in the know. And so, I was having this conversation with them about a year ago and asking them, was this his route? And they were saying, well, they're not sure, but they're hoping it doesn't go that way. The alarming statistic that everyone should be very aware of is that the insurance actuaries had come out with statistics from 2020 through 2021 that says the death rate between young men between the age of 16 and I believe it was 55, 50 or 55, somewhere in there. Don't quote me on it. Look it up for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, and get the facts right. I'm just giving you a general idea here. But young men between age 16 and 50 or 55, the death rate is up over 40% for the last 2 years. And I know a lot of people, there's been a lot of people out there and a lot of dis and misinformation around this subject, and they're saying, well, yeah, but that could be a number of things. Well, of course, we had COVID. Of course, a lot more. No, that is without COVID. They filter out the COVID deaths, okay? So without COVID deaths, young men from age 16 to 50, death rate is up 40%. And people are not quantifying that or understanding it. So to put that into conceptual language that people understand, this is more than significant. This is the type of increase. This is the largest death rate increase we have seen in over 400 years of civilization.
Wow.
These are the type of death rates that we were seeing in the World War, okay? So the reason this is alarming is because this is not just a few more people are passing away or leaving this world. No, we're having the death rates that we have comparable to world wars. Okay?
Let's talk about insurance companies, though. What are they saying now?
Yeah, and so that's the alarm. What the beginning was, they come out and they say the actuaries are realizing this and they're adding it up and they're saying, hey, we've got a problem. We've got a problem. There's a high death rate. And, insurance companies, everything's actuarially based, right? Off of life expectancies and how many funds and proceeds they have coming in, how much they expect to pay out, and everything of that nature. So insurance companies have been concerned about that alarming rate because they're saying, uh-oh, this is going to cause a problem for us. So the new news that's coming out, or recently come out, is that insurance companies are preparing to deny death claims for vaccinated people. Now, all of this it's not definite yet, okay? So this isn't written in stone or said.
But they're starting to talk about it.
Well, they had a multi-million-dollar death claim in France from a gentleman who died of the vaccination, and they completely denied the claim.
So a wrongful death claim?
Yeah, and they have fought it, the family, and they fought it to the highest Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the insurance company and said they had the right to deny the claim. Now, here's the problem. What people don't understand is that, the pharmaceutical companies, when these vaccines came out and everything come out, were totally void of liability. You cannot sue the vaccine companies or the pharmaceutical companies for anything or any results or consequences that occur after.
They're totally immune because they were doing research.
Yes, which is the basis that the Supreme Court in France gave to deny the claim to the insurance company. And they said, well, you can't put that liability on the insurance company because the insurance company can't sue the pharmaceutical company.
Gotcha.
Now that set alarm bells through the insurance world everywhere and got everyone's attention, and all the insurance companies are going, uh-oh, So you mean we have death increases of 40%, but we can't hold the pharmaceutical companies liable, so we can't recover any of our losses? Well, then we're going to be stuck in a situation where we have no choice but to deny the claims of people who are vaccinated. So currently, they're not denying claims of people vaccinated. They're just saying anyone who dies directly from a vaccination, they're denying the claim. But they're talking about now, for us to be able to come through this financially, we're going to have to begin just denying claims for all individuals who are vaccinated. Now, people wondering on this show, why are you talking about this as a financial show?
Right.
Life insurance is financial.
It is very financial.
Life insurance is a very widely, very popular, utilized tool in financial planning. You know, how many families out there are depending on a life insurance claim if they lose the breadwinner?
Absolutely.
How many spouses are depending on a life insurance claim if they lose their loved one? How many people have life insurance as part of their retirement planning, right?
Most.
We use it. You know, when we do our income planning and we say, all right, how are we going to take care of our surviving spouse because of in the loss of one loved one? The other loved one's going to have a loss of income. They're going to lose a Social Security benefit. They may lose some pension benefits and things of that nature. How are we going to replace that income for that loved one? So there's one of two ways. If someone has saved enough money in their life, we'll say, okay, well, you've saved enough money. We're going to carve this portion of your savings out. We're going to put it over here as reserve just to take care of your loved one when you leave this earth, right?
Right.
Or the second way is if there's not enough savings, well, then you know what? We need to buy some life insurance on you to cover you, so when something happens to you, the other surviving spouse gets a claim and they get some tax-free money, and they can use that to replace and supplement their income. Well, how devastating could this be to how many families in America
if they're denied the claim because
if they're
they
denied
had
the claim because they got vaccinated? Now, I don't want to start hearsay because that is not that's not written into law yet. But that's what they're all talking about, the insurance companies. That's what the higher-ups are talking about. They're saying, hey, we can't just stop at denying claims for direct death from vaccination because death rate's up 40%. There's too many vaccinated people. We're paying out too much in claims. We can't handle all of these claims.
Right.
We're not fundamentally and financially secure enough to do this. So we're going to have to make a decision here, which, I mean, I don't want anyone at home to get the wrong picture. I'm not putting the insurance companies in a bad light.
Right.
I'm not saying anything wrong with the insurance companies.
Feel for them.
Yeah, I feel for the insurance companies. What a horrible position to be put in, right? Either our company's going to go bankrupt dealing with this, or we've got to make decisions that a lot of people are not going to like.
Yeah.
And they're not very easy decisions to make.
So my husband and I, we got married in 2000, and that was one of the first things we did was we got a life insurance policy on each other, and it's only been like $65 a month for each of us all these years.
Some term life.
Yeah, term life. Is that a good idea or bad idea? Do I get money back immediately? Explain the differences.
Yeah, let's go through some insurance, right? Some good and stuff.
Yeah, do's and don'ts.
Do's and don'ts. A lot of people are against term life insurance.
Is that what we have, term?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and so you buy for a specified term, right? All right, for the next 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, if I die within this period, I want a claim paid out. Now, the benefit of term insurance is that it's the cheapest. Because the insurance company isn't on the hook all of your life, and they're not on the hook in your older age. They're only in the hook for this specified amount of time, which is generally during people's most healthy working years.
Yeah.
So term insurance has the least amount of claims made on it. Therefore, the product can be sold the cheapest, right?
Gotcha.
I'm not one of those people against term life insurance. I like it. I think it's a good thing. Personally, I think life insurance is very oversold in America. You know, they make everybody believe you need insurance and everybody's overinsured.
Yeah, they should call it death insurance.
Right. But it does, if it serves a purpose, then good. I had term life insurance. You know, I had a 20-year term life insurance for my family because I was the breadwinner. And I was, hey, this is the cheapest way for me to get insurance and coverage for my family for right now. And my goal is, in 20 years from now, I won't have a need for insurance. Right?
And I hope I don't need it because I'll still be alive
I don't
and healthy.
need it.
Yeah.
And then hopefully 20 years later, I'm financially secure enough that I don't need the insurance to take care of my family. I'm able to take care of my family. Then when it lapses and goes away, I'm fine with that.
Right.
Where people's problem comes in with term insurance versus other insurance is term insurance is like renting a house, right? They say. So you're just renting that house, so you're just throwing money out the window every year to rent, but you don't own anything in the end.
Right.
Whereas if you go to whole life or index universal life or any type of universal life products, that's like buying a home. Your payments every month are not just rent. They're not going out the window. At least they're going to the purchase of something, and you'll own something in the end.
So you're investing it, even if you pass away to 85, there will be a lump sum.
That's right.
It won't be that term.
But it's just, you know, and that's what do we tell people about insurance? Insurance is a custom tailored product. It needs to meet your individual needs. There's no one size fits all. Everyone's different family dynamics, different goals, different concerns, different income levels, and it should be tailored to meet your needs. And, you know, I have a lot of people sitting there at home right now, they're wondering, oh my God, where's this information coming from? I'm going to look it up. I hope that you do look this up, and I hope that you do your own due diligence and research on everything that we said on the show. But if what we are saying is alarming to you, or what we are saying is resonating and saying, you know what, maybe I need to look into this a little bit further, here's your opportunity. The next 15 callers who call the show right now, no cost, no obligation, full-blown comprehensive review of your current situation, your taxation, your income planning, a portfolio analysis, and your insurance needs. Let's see if what you actually need, and if the insurance you have serves a purpose. Is it necessary or is it not necessary? And are you one of the ones who may end up in a situation because your insurance needs? What is Plan B? How do we put it together today? Give us a call. Let's start working it out. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and we can create a lot of plans to make sure that you and your family come out on the right end of all this.
Absolutely. And there's the number 228-388-2031. And for our friends in Alabama, you can call this number and get an appointment in the Mobile office. We'll be right back with more and Paul Roberts.
Meeting our son.
Crazy road trips.
Memories with Grandpa.
Family and friends.
My first job.
My fourth job.
Exploring our world.
Our world. Our first date.
Our
Special song.
Secure your retirement by meeting with a financial advisor.
Hey folks, let us help you make your retirement dreams a reality. Give my office a call today. Hey folks, this is Paul Roberts, your host of Retire Right Radio and TV. I'd like to invite you in for a one-on-one consultation with one of our all-star advisors so we can get you set on the path to retire right.
All right, welcome back. I just want to remind y'all that Paul also gives free advice on a podcast, Roberts Wealth Management. You can find that on YouTube, I believe, and a 104.9 Gulf Coast rock station. We talk a lot about just the current events and the fear. I don't want to maybe mention 2008, but how does this compare to what we saw happen and so many wonderful people lost so much money in 2008?
And you know, just what you said is one of the problems, right, Rebecca? Is people don't like talking about the pain. People don't like talking about the difficult times. But you know what? That's why we talk about them. You know, we have to talk about them. A lot of people tell me, you know, Paul, sometimes I just wish you'd give me a lot better news. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, we have to talk about history. We have to talk about the pain. We have to talk about the consequences of the pain. And we got to talk about, is history going to rhyme? Because I'm one of those, I don't think history repeats itself, but history rhymes, right?
Never heard that before.
So,
I like it.
Are you asking, I think what you're asking today is, does today's current situation rhyme with 2008? Is it comparable? Let's back up and discuss the 2008 financial crisis, right? Like, what really happened? That would take us many episodes to go through what really happened. You know, it was blamed on a housing crisis and the debt, and of course, there's always a way that they can always shift blame to people in this country. So it was, well, too many people were taking mortgages they shouldn't have taken.
Well, the bank was allowing it, but anyway.
Right. They were encouraging it, right?
You can afford a $300,000 house and you make $20,000 a year.
You can afford more. You can afford more, right? So yeah, let's not blame it on the people. And it wasn't even really the housing crisis that created 2008.
Okay.
We'll leave that for a whole nother show because that's a deep explanation. But what happened in 2008? Financial crisis occurs, right? The banksters go to the government and they say, you know what, we have really ill behavior and we've really done wrong and we've really created a really bad situation for everybody.
Can you bail us out now?
Yeah, can you bail us out now? We would like for you to socialize that loss amongst the people. And that's what we call 2008 financial crisis, socializing a loss, okay? Because that's what happened. They socialized the loss amongst the people. The taxpayers, you and I and all of our viewers, all of our money was taken out, handed over to the banks. Now here's the real kicker here. And this is what people should question. It was reported to us by the Federal Reserve that the bailout was $1.2 trillion. Now, the reason people should question that is Bloomberg had to direct congressional action and had to appeal to Congress to get the actual amounts of the Federal Reserve funding disclosed. Then they made it so complex, they took over a year and a half to slowly release the information, and they made it so complex that they could hide a lot in it. But Bloomberg's analysis came out that it wasn't 1.2 trillion, it was 7.7 trillion.
Dear Lord.
Okay. Well, now a little university, an amazing university in Kansas, an amazing professor, got all of his graduate students together, and they decided they were going to really pull up the bottom on this. And you know,
this is awesome.
Our viewers should look this up and go through it and see the analysis of it. But their final outcome, just to cut the story short, was the end of their research model came out and said, no, it was actually $27 trillion that was printed and handed to the banks. Now, here's my question. Okay, the banksters made bad decisions. They socialized their losses amongst the people. What did the people get back?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing but a ever increasing and widening
Debt.
Gap, you know, what we refer to as wealth gap. It just increased the wealth gap between the lower and middle classes and upper classes, and we got nothing out of it. So I ask people today, people say, are we in that type of situation? So, you know, 2008 was nothing compared to where we're at. The dollar has collapsed. Our entire financial infrastructure is going under, and the entire financial infrastructure of the Western world is going to have to be rebuilt and redesigned over the next few years of life. 2008 was kindergarten compared to what we're dealing with today. But the greatest macroeconomists that I follow out there today, they say, we're looking at, when this is all said and done, we're looking at more or less like a 70 to 80% devaluation of assets across America. So twice as bad as 2008. But the difference is, 2008, they could print enough money to pull us back out of this one. The current crisis we're in, and that's why they're going to go ahead and allow it to happen and allow the Great Reset to happen and to just reform and restructure everything, because they can't fix it this time.
They're stuck in a corner.
They're estimating that they'll need between $300 and $400 trillion to bail us out this time, and there's just no way on earth that they can print that much money, and if they did, it would just collapse everything.
Right.
So they're just going, okay, game's up. We've played it to the end. We've done everything we could, so you know what? It's time for the Great Reset. It's time to restructure everything and start all over. And a lot of our viewers at home and a lot of viewers out there right now, I don't want to scare them, and I don't want to bring concern to your life, but you know what? You should be concerned about this. This is time, ladies and gentlemen, to take action. It is time for you to take everything that's going on around you serious. Do not take your advice and your information from the media. Do you believe that the corporations who created the 2008 financial crisis and benefited from it and socialized the losses among the people are going to be the people who help guide you away from this? Do you believe that they're going to warn you before it all happens? Do you believe that they're going to warn you and tell you to strategically reposition yourself so that nothing happens to you? Or do you think that they're going to let it all fall on you as they did last time? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And then you need to ask yourself, who am I being guided by? Am I being guided by a major corporation who is participating in all this? Do I feel that they have my best interest at mind? If you feel that way, then you know what? Stay your course and stay your track, and God bless you, and we'll be with you in the end. But if you're questioning that and you say they may not have my best interest at mind, it's probably a good time to get a second opinion, talk to a small independent firm of very encouraged people who are out there advocating for you every day. We want to see you succeed. Here's how you do it. The next 15 callers who pick up the phone right now, we're going to give you a full-blown comprehensive review of your current situation. There is no cost, no obligation for this consultation. The only thing we ask is that you sit down for an hour with one of our all-star advisors with an open heart and an open mind. You share with them your concerns, and you see what types of solutions we can create for you to eliminate those concerns and get you in a place where you can sleep at night and give you the retirement you deserve. Pick up the phone, give us a call today. Let's get you set on track to retire right.
Absolutely, and there's the number 228-388-2031, and there are steps you can take. So we're not trying to scare you, nothing to be fearful about. And again, office in Mobile, Alabama now. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Do you know how much you're paying in fees or commissions with your current plan or advisor? What about unnecessary risk or future tax implications? Sit down with a fiduciary advisor who can help you understand important retirement concepts, and so you can make the best decisions for yourself moving forward. We may even be able to answer questions you didn't even know needed to be asked.
Hey folks, what's your next move? Let's get you set to retire right. At Roberts Wealth Management, we are passionate about making sure our clients live stress-free in retirement. Our biggest fear when meeting with new clients is whether it is too late to fix other advisors' mistakes. When you're nearing retirement, it's essential that you have a written plan and know exactly how that plan will work. Many consumers are loyal to their current advisors instead of the success of their plan. Always get a second opinion. For a complimentary review, contact us today.
Welcome back. I'm Rebecca Powers. So happy to see all of you. I want to remind you, you can hear Paul Roberts on the very popular podcast now, and he's also on several Gulf Coast radio stations. I know 104.9. Can you think of the other ones off the top of your head, or do I need to call your producer?
Yep, because you know what? I can't keep up with it all anymore today. We're on AM station in Alabama and Florida. I think it's 700 AM.
Okay.
Don't quote me. We're on, of course, WLOX and Fox and many other stations throughout Alabama and Florida. But,
do you feel like you're going to be able to open an office in Florida? I know you're talking about Hattiesburg, but there's such a high demand right now. That's why we're so glad that you're doing these shows with us. Do you feel like you're going to be able to go to Florida, or you're just going to stay more local?
I feel like I'm not going to have a choice, Rebecca.
Because they're all driving here from Pensacola complaining.
Yeah, you know, I may be ready to retire one day too, or just stop working so much. But there's so many people in need out there, and there's so much need, and that need is growing so much, and people are waking up, and people are starting to smell it, and they're starting to understand it. Awareness is coming. The awakening is happening. People are going, you know what, I don't trust the governments anymore.
Yes.
I don't trust the corporations anymore.
Yes.
We were all raised and we were all conditioned to trust the government and to trust the corporation, to trust all these big entities and institutions, and they're the ones who take care of you. And the world is wising up today, and people are saying, I don't trust them.
And you shouldn't.
I am looking to somebody else who doesn't trust them, and how you help us navigate this? So the demand for what we do in our business is just through the roof. I'm constantly searching and recruiting to find new advisors and to continue building our team. That's one of my biggest challenges.
I was just going to say, to clarify, it's not like Paul is doing every single thing for every one of you. Oh, how is it possible? You're really doing the in-depth research, the history, the studying, speaking to the people in the banks, the people in the banks and insurance companies, et cetera. So you really, and if you are a young, fantastic financial planner who wants to learn more, maybe
that's right.
Maybe you could come visit with them anyway.
There's a lot of people out there in the financial world who have started new careers, and they got to where they thought, just like me when I was young, and I started off, this is great, I'm going to go in this world. And then when you work for the corporations, you really quickly realize, oh man, this is a bunch of Kool-Aid I'm drinking, and I'm not doing what's in the best interest of some guy in an ivory tower somewhere who's my boss in another state. I'm not doing what's in the best interest of my clients. And there are financial advisors out there right now who feel that way. And some of you are watching. If that's you and you want to join an amazing all-star team, give us a call. Because one of my biggest challenges in the growth of our company and keeping up with the growth is finding the right advisors to work with. Because believe me, we're picky about who we choose. We're looking with people with high level of ethics, high level of faith. We want people who their whole goal and their whole all their intent is all day, every day, is to serve others and help others. And that's not really easy to find in our industry, but we're finding them one after another. And if that strikes you and resonates with you, and you're somebody who really wants to help others, give us a call. Come sit down with us. I'm open to everyone. come sit down with me. Let's have a conversation. Let's see if you could be part of the Roberts Wealth All-Star team.
And I love those words. And y'all all know that I ran for office because I love people so much. And even in that, it is so difficult, you know, to be around things that you know are not right, and you're just banging your head against the wall, but don't ever give up. My mom used to say, let your light shine.
That's right.
And it's very, very true. All of my siblings live at a better level than my parents ever dreamed of because of their sacrifices. So if you feel like you believe in the same philosophy as us, seriously give him a call. I think you could help some young up-and-coming financial people. So what do you think is the first thing someone should do when they get married? Like I told you, we got married and we bought insurance on each other. What is a good kind of road map for a young married couple, Paul?
You know, I would love more than anything to see young people get married. Don't do it right away. Enjoy your time, right? Go on your honeymoon, enjoy a little bit of time, enjoy the bliss of it. And as soon as you get done within the first month, go ahead and come sit down with a financial professional.
I thought you were going to say a year. Come on, the first year is the best.
I'm not telling you to go sit down with a mega corporation brokerage firm who's going to say, sure, we'll put you in these mutual funds and take your money the rest of your life, and good luck, we hope you make it. Come sit down with a fiduciary firm like us. Come sit down with a group, an independent firm that does planning and can help you, because what most people lack out there and where most people's frustration and fear comes from in life is they don't have a direction, they don't have a path, they don't have a plan. You know, you always ask me on the show and everywhere else, Paul, why don't you get concerned and you don't have anxiety and you don't have fear? I have a plan. I always have a plan. I always know where I'm going. You know, the fear comes from the not knowing. And so you young people, if you want to really empower yourselves, and it's very important today in relationships, because we all know that some crazy statistic like 80% of marriages end due to finances. Right? Well, you know what? If you want to increase your probabilities of having a highly successful career in marriage, let's get your finances together. Let's put you on a track. Let's get you a plan together and say, all right, here's where you got to start. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. We will work with you. We love empowering people. We love bringing people to a better place. And if you're young and you're just starting out, it doesn't matter. Let's just help you start building a road and a pathway. You know where you're going. Right? Do
you think young people should buy houses in this market, or do you think they should wait, or what would you tell a young couple who's thinking about buying? Because you get strapped down with debt. That's stressful too.
Well, both of my daughters bought them in the last 3 years, and I can tell you, I tried to talk both of them out of it. So I don't believe in the traditional ideologies. It's a changing world, and things are changing, and I think people need to stay flexible enough to change with it.
Amen.
But hey, here's your last opportunity for the day. Next 15 callers. It's a changing world. You got to be able to change with it, evolve with it, and stay flexible. Give our team a call. Come sit down. Let's help you get on track to retire right.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, South Mississippi and Alabama, and soon Hattiesburg. We love y'all.